Hi, I'm Sylvia from Vintage Kitchen Vixen, where I share tips for simple living, creating memorable gatherings, and preparing wholesome and traditional meals with a vintage twist. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make fermented chili lemon carrot sticks. Now, if you are new to the kitchen, we're about to hop into something called silent film mode. And before we do that, if you like what you see, I really hope you subscribe by hitting that subscribe button and bell notification so that you never miss an episode of the kitchen. And to all of you, please like this video and leave a comment because it'll help me out. Okay, we're gonna get into it right now. And yes, it really is as easy as that. Now, fermenting, it's something that I'm relatively new to. I do have a video all about making sauerkraut, which you can check out right there. I'll link it below. I also ferment milk kefir. Again, there's a video for that, and it will also be linked beneath. So milk kefir, it's a fermented milk drink, in case you didn't know. But today we have fermented carrot sticks, as you can see. So this is a jar that's already been well picked at. You'll notice that the brine is really cloudy here, which is what's going to happen after a few days of your carrots fermenting on a counter or wherever you stow it away. The reason I started making these, one, I had an abundance of carrots, and two, I was really curious to try them out, and I couldn't shake the idea of trying them out with chili and lemon. So that's what I did, and then I found that my son is obsessed with them. So whenever I get carrots in general, my son will always like pilfer a carrot stick and run away with it. He's younger than 2, but he loves stealing carrot sticks, but they're too tough for him, and then I'll just find like little bits of carrot, and then he just never really finishes eating them. So these fermented carrot sticks, they're salty because they are fermented in a brine, And that's something that you need to do with root vegetables, because unlike sauerkraut, which you can get a brine going and it's from massaging in salt, that's something that you can't do with large carrot sticks. So you make a brine. For the brine, you should use an unchlorinated water. If you have unchlorinated spring water, that's even better. For me, I'm on tap water and I don't have anything that's filtering it, so you can get rid of the chlorine by boiling it because the gas will release. While the water is still warm, you can mix in salt, tiny little bit of sugar just to help feed the ferment a bit. And then from there, I let it cool completely, and then that's at what point I add the brine to my jar of carrots. It usually takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks for it to be finished. You can check it out after a few days, like maybe 5 or 7 days. You can sample and see how you like it. And if you do notice that there is some scum at the top, don't be concerned. Yeasts are very fond of carrots, so whenever there's a ferment that is kind of like overpowered by carrots, that has a lot of carrots, if you find yeast floating on top, don't be concerned, just scoop it off. Your ferment is okay, just scoop it off and get rid of it and you'll be fine. Do keep it at room temperature, so don't put it in the fridge because the fridge will completely slow down fermentation. It's going to take a really long time for your carrots to be ready if you put them in the fridge. But when the ferment is done, when you're happy with your carrots, then you put them in the fridge. And they will keep fermenting in the fridge, but it's just going to take a really long time. And you'll find that the longer they're in the fridge, with time that flavor is going to change. If you did watch my sauerkraut video, you'll know that there is one big rule when it comes to fermenting anything, and that is if it's covered in brine, everything is fine. So with this, to keep everything submerged under brine, I have, well, I'm not going to take it out, but I showed you in the video, I have this little glass weight. It's specifically made for mason jars, so it just pops in and it's glass and it keeps everything weighed down. You can also check to make sure everything's weighed down. And then I have, oh, hold on. Here's my jar. So, oh, it's releasing bubbles right now from me moving it. That's one thing, you want to make sure that there are no air pockets in here. So, you know, just tapping it, that will help. So I have my glass weight, and then I put on this little valve thing. I don't know what it's called, a pickle. Hold on again. So I got this kit not too long ago and it's wonderful. So it's a fermentation kit for beginners, or it doesn't matter what season you are in you're fermenting, it's helpful. So you get pickle pipes, that's what they're called. So they're silicone airlocks, and when you put one on top, what it does is it will release gas as it goes. So with ferments, if you don't have an airlock on it, you need to, like every day, you need to open it up and release the air. You need to make sure that your jar is covered, because if it's not, bacteria and other contaminants can do funky things to your ferment. So always make sure it's covered. And if you have one of these airlocks, you don't have to worry about it and open it up every day, because it's going to be doing the job for you. So you just put the lid over it and then it's good to go. I'm going to put that back. Now if you don't have that, that's fine. You can just use a regular mason jar lid and then just screw it on. Don't do it too tight, because there is the potential that it will overflow. You don't want it to overflow. And that's the reason I put it on a baking sheet, because you never know when something goes awry. It's just a safety precaution. I have had ferments that have overflowed in the past, so it's just a best practice. Now the benefit of fermenting carrots, these will still be crunchy, but the benefit of fermenting carrots is that it boosts the vitamin content. You get your probiotics in there and they're easier to digest. It's so important to have raw fermented foods in your diet, and we don't have nearly enough of them. They do good things for your gut flora, which promotes a strong immune system. I find these carrot sticks to be the perfect snack. That's actually what I give my young son when he's feeling a bit cranky or hungry. I give him a couple of carrot sticks and then he seems happy and he runs off with his little carrot sticks in his hand, and then he always comes back and asks for more. I like munching on them too. They're also really good with charcuterie plates, or if you want to serve something as an aperitif before you sit down to dinner, so you can put out a tiny little plate of them for your guests or your family members to munch on before dinner, just to keep them at bay while the meal is cooking in the oven. And then a word on the salt. I already talked about the water, but for the salt, I like using a Celtic sea salt. It has minerals intact. It's not iodized, and you need to have iodide in your salt, but we get that from pretty much everything else that has salt. So this is what I use. I'll link it below if you want to check it out for yourself. But I mean, if you're new to fermenting, you just want to try it for the first time and you don't want to go out and get fancy salt, just don't worry about it. Use what you have. It's better that you get those ferments in your diet than it is to be put off from trying this out because you don't have the right salt at home. It's a really simple recipe. I think it's a great gateway recipe to get started with fermenting if you are brand new, because it's really easy to do. You just need the patience to wait that week or two while everything ferments. So after, like I was saying, after a few days it's going to start getting cloudy, and then I usually have a label on my, hold on, I peeled it off. So I had peeled it off, but I usually have a label on my ferment so that I know when I started it, so that I have a rough idea of when I need to start checking it. I like labeling things. It's one of my favorite kitchen rules. That helps me waste less and save more. So I also have a video on that if you want to check that out and get some frugal kitchen tips for your own kitchen. Yeah, if you don't like lemon, if you don't like chili, you don't have to use them. You can just make plain carrot sticks, or you can just omit the chili or put more chilies in. You can put less chili in. If you want it really spicy, you can break open the chili. I haven't done that because I do have a young little muncher who's eating the carrots, and I don't think he'd appreciate a hot pepper flake on his carrot stick. So I haven't experimented with opening them up. If it was just me, I would experiment with that, but I haven't done it yet. But you can try different spices, you can stick in herbs, you can try, fennel seeds or caraway seeds. I don't like caraway seeds, I don't know why I said that. But just experiment, play, and have fun with fermenting. So that's it from me for today. I'm gonna stop talking now. If you want more information, I do have a blog post that's all about fermented carrot sticks in case I missed anything here, so you can find the link to that post right in the description below. Again, if you are new to the kitchen, I really hope you subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you never miss an episode of the kitchen. And if you are coming back, you're making my day. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen yet again. If you did like this video, please remember to hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions or if you have any comments that you want to add about your own fermenting experience, please drop a comment below. I try to answer each and every comment that comes my way. And if you feel so moved, I'd be so grateful if you shared this video on social media for anybody who's looking for a simple way to get started with fermenting. But other than that, that's it for me for today. I do put out 2 new videos a week, so I will be seeing you real soon. Thank you so much. Bye. But they promote healthy gut health. They promote gut health. They promote good gut health. Always gotta save your scraps to make a broth later. Or if you have chickens, you can just feed them the scraps. But I don't have chickens yet because the city doesn't allow them. My land isn't big enough. Just short of it. It's a real shame.